your sexual life. How do you balance your relationship with God and your relationship with your partner?
Sex is not the only sin that you commit, just that it is us that view it to be a very great and dubious sin. Sex is not different from any other sin. God searches the heart. Yeah.
There are no big sins and there are no small sins. That's like someone that killed a mother, a father, a child, a whole family can just turn around and say, God, please forgive me. And God will say, you're forgiven. You understand? And God tomorrow will use that person in ways that you will never imagine.
That's why I say God no be man.
Yeah,
God is not man.
God will not judge matters based on how we judge matters. Do you understand? Because we judge matters based on our experiences. Hello viewers, welcome to today's episode on My Baby and I. We've had previous conversations and I believe that if you go through our page, you would be able to see them and listen to them, and I know you'll be able to learn a thing or two from there. So today I'm the host. So I'm going to be the one to ask the question. It's been like a dilemma, like something of confusion between the Christian faith and those of us in the Christian body having sexual relationships with our partners before we become legally married. So I want to ask the question to you, baby.
All right.
How do you balance your faith as a Christian and your work with God as a Christian and your sexual life or your relationship with your partner? How do you balance it, knowing that you're a Christian and there are things that God said don't do, but being human, you find yourself doing some of those things. So how do you balance your relationship with God and your relationship with your partner?
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone. Okay, for me, God is not man. I want to start by saying that.
Okay.
God is not man, and if I'm to go out there to preach to people, I always tell you to have your own relationship with your God, because even the Bible made us know that the Christian life is a daily struggle. Like, you are always working on yourself to be better, to know God more, and the work never stops.
Yeah.
You get? So it's a continuous stuff. Nobody is perfect. All right, and you can never be. That's actually the truth. Yes, you might not really agree, but there's no perfect person out there. One way or the other, we'll do our stuffs.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, you're a Christian out there and you've always found yourself every day, every time, after doing this, your conscience is bothering you. You know, you go to church sometimes, you are weak to pray, you are weak to worship, just because of what you did before you came to church. I know there's so many people out there. That is the challenge you have if the trumpet blows now. All right, you feel like, if the trumpet blows now, I'm not going to heaven just because of this. Yes, I was once there. All right, so I'm not just talking. I'm talking from experience. Yes. So the thing is, this is how you deal with it. All right, create your personal relationship with God. Sex is not the only sin that you commit, just that it is us that view it to be a very great and dubious sin. You get? Like, now we view am by ourselves, say that this thing is just too huge. I know that the Bible says that sex is the only sin that you commit against God and your body too. Yeah, it's true. All right, but sex is not different from any other sin. God searches the heart. Believe me, I'm not your pastor. I'm not going to preach to you like a pastor, but I'm going to tell you how I deal with my own problem. All right.
I want to say something.
Okay.
For instance, like what you said sex is not the only sin.
Yeah.
Or it's like one of the ones that people capitalize on.
Yeah.
Malice is also a sin.
Yeah.
Lying is a sin.
Yeah.
So imagine you now as a Christian, you've not had sex with somebody, when you're harboring hatred in your heart for another person, you lie. Like there are small lies you tell, subtle lies you tell and all, and then you even go as far as being angry to the point where you pray that God will hurt the person you're angry with, thinking that these are people that pray that kind of prayer, like, because of this thing you did to me, God will burn you, or God will do stuff like that. That is actually those are actually sins. So, but people have a way of making this one big and making this one small.
Right.
Do you understand? That may be a way of making this one is a big sin and this one is a small sin.
Yeah.
There are no big sins and there are no small sins. That's like someone that killed a mother, a father, a child, a whole family can just turn around and say, God, please forgive me. And God will say, you're forgiven. You understand? And God tomorrow will use that person in ways that you will never imagine.
That's why I say God no be man.
Yeah,
God is not man.
God will not judge matters based on how we judge matters. Do you understand? Because we judge matters based on our experiences. We judge matters based on our families, where we come from, how we grow, our interaction with people on a daily. That's how we judge matters. But God doesn't judge matters that way. So you saying, you capitalizing on the sin of sex and using it to rule out people is not the right thing for you to do. And as a Christian, you thinking that if you do this one, God will punish you. But if you keep malice to somebody, God will not punish you. That's wrong. But this is not a go-ahead order for you to go ahead and start having sex.
No, the thing is, like I said before, create your own personal relationship with your God and do what works for you. All right? Create your own personal relationship with your God and do that thing that works for you.
No, I think we would rather say create your own relationship, create your own personal relationship with God. Take it one step at a time. Do what works for both you and God. Because if you say what works for you, is as though the relationship is just, but do what works for both you and God. And take it one step. It's not something that you just and stop today. You cannot just decide and stop today. You're going to keep, but just know that give yourself grace.
And don't run from God because
don't run from God because you just made a mistake. Give yourself grace. If you said I wasn't going to do it and you go back to doing it, don't not say I've done it, I'm not going to go to church, I'm not going to pray, I'm not going to seek God or listen to God. That's not the way to relate with God. I think there was one time I did something and I felt bad. I felt like God will be angry with me. And I heard God say, I think he put it like, don't limit me to how men relate with you. I don't know if that makes sense. But he just told me, don't think I'm going to treat you the way other people treat you. Like how? So you don't hurt God. Or you might not think you're hurting God or you're offending God. But okay, imagine Samson, for instance. Samson and Delilah. How it was as though Samson did a lot of things that were wrong in people's eyes. First of all, he had hair. Normally, people from his side of that clan are not supposed to have hair. You understand? So people already saw him as someone that was already sinning, as someone that's not going to be in God's good book. And then he now hooked up with Delilah, and see how everything happened. And he was still in the favor of Israel. He was still in favor of God. So don't remove yourself from God's presence just because you think that He's angry with you and He told you not to have sex and you've had sex. Don't move yourself from there. Don't put yourself in that position. God is not your daddy that will give you the cold shoulders because you didn't come back by 7. He's not your mom that would be angry with you because she told you to wash something and you didn't wash it. You understand? So I think people relate to God based on how they relate to their parents. Yeah, because your mommy was angry you did something and she didn't speak to you for 1 month. You think that God is like that. God is not like that. God is someone that you can do something now, and in all sincerity of heart, you just go back to him and say, God, I'm sorry. And right there and then, He has blotted. Look, listen. God will forget what you did. That doesn't mean that the consequences of what you did will not come to you. Do you understand? You can do something wrong and God will just forget what you did, but that doesn't mean that the consequences have been forgotten.
Like, for example, if you have a premarital sex
and you get pregnant,
if you have an unprotected sex and you pray again, you pray to God to forgive you for your sins, He will forgive you. But that does not mean that if you do not take money after P, you will not get pregnant. That's the consequences.
Yeah, and you can even get a disease.
You can get a disease, yes.
But that doesn't mean that God doesn't love you.
Yeah.
Your body will still be put under that, that pain. Your body will be put under that pain and the consequences of your actions. But that doesn't mean that God doesn't love you, or He won't accept you, or He wouldn't consider you His child anymore. You understand? So I think the way to balance it is to know that God loves you. Regardless of all the mistakes you're going to make,
no matter what,
regardless of anything, and that's the gospel of us Christians. No matter what you do, God's arms are always open. So that's the balance. God will always accept you back.
God is not man.
Yeah,
right?
He'll always accept you back.
And
if you allow Him, He's going to do beautiful things with you. So the trick of the enemy is, if you do this, you think he will start whispering to you, God is not happy with you.
What are you going to that church to do?
Yes, you that just you did
No.
one style that is not
Nah,
even
after 7 rounds.
man.
Tight. After 7
The
rounds,
style you just did,
unprotected.
even the angels were shocked because they've never seen such a thing. And you'll be whispering those things to you, and you'll be like, yes, it's true. The way this man hung my leg, I don't think God will go to look at my face anymore. But God is not like that. God would always love you. He will always love you. He will always love you. Imagine someone that killed his son. He will always love you. You think it's sex that will separate you from him? You think so? Nah. God will always love you.
Even if you have to look, in the Bible, David is a man after God's heart.
Yeah.
He sent somebody's husband to go and be killed just to sleep with the wife.
Yeah. And listen, he was still punished.
Yeah.
For that, but that did not stop God from considering. He was the only man that God said he's after my heart.
Yeah, and that is the consequences you talked about.
Yeah.
Yes, God will forgive you, but that was not take away the consequences.
The child of that woman was the one that became next. God doesn't do the things that God doesn't do.
God is not man.
The child of
God is not man.
I think Bathsheba, who was Solomon, and he was still the one that after that became the richest king, even till today. Nobody was as rich as Solomon. Nobody was as wise as Solomon.
Yeah. So it's what it is. So I'm not saying go ahead and have sex as a Christian, and I'm not saying run away from church if you have continued to have.
And we're not also saying if you decided to stop, you should not stop. This is not like don't stop.
It's not like if you can as a Christian, it's very, very fantastic.
Yeah.
Believe me, is good. All right. But if you are struggling, just know that God loves you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just like it's one step at a time, and
yes.
you get there.
Yes, you will get there.
Yeah. You will definitely get there.
Yeah. All right. So this is our message today, and I hope you have learned something from this very particular episode. All right. Till next time. We love you.
I love you.